Here's how you play Flex in advanced mode. Flex NBA has player tiles called flexagons. On the front of the flexagon, you can see a player's total confidence points or CP. On the back, you see an NBA player's signature moves or special abilities called flexes. These flexes reduce the CP of your opponent. When CP drops to 0, that flexagon is taken out. Take out all your ops flexagons and you win. Pick up to 5 flexagons as your starting lineup. You cannot play 2 or more of the same flexagon in the same game. You can add a bench. Before each game, pick up to 5 flexagons to keep on your bench. You can also use FX tiles. Pick up to 10 FX tiles to use during the game. You can't have more than 2 of the same FX tile in the same game. Each turn starts by rolling the play action die. There are 6 potential outcomes that can be rolled. Flex. This allows you to do a regular flex and nothing else. Upgrade. This allows you to upgrade a flexagon to a higher level version of that player. You have to own the higher level version of that player in order to upgrade them. Some players can be upgraded multiple times, while other players don't have an upgrade available. Substitution. This allows you to sub a player out of the game. Use an FX tile. This allows you to use an FX tile if you have one available. Once you use an FX tile, you can't use it again. Single unlock. On the back of each flexagon, you'll see that there are Tier 2 and Tier 3 flexes that are locked. Rolling this single unlock allows you to unlock a higher tier flex. Double unlock. This allows you to unlock 2 higher tier flexes. You cannot split the 2 unlocks onto 2 different flexagons. Once you decide who's going to flex, your op chooses a flexagon to defend. I'm going to use Jimmy Butler's Tier 1 flex, money from mid-range.
I will defend with Nikola Jokic.
The result is 10 damage to Jokic's CP. Denote the CP damage using a damage token. Now it's your op's turn. Repeat until one player has the last flexagon standing. That player wins. There's more to consider though. There are 11 player types in the game. You can see the player types here on the front of the flexagon with this icon. For reference, please check out the status effects card, which lists all the player type icons. Some deal high damage but have low CP. Others have high CP but deal very little damage. Some don't do any damage but wreak havoc on your op, causing them to skip turns or throw away FX tiles. Others will allow your flexagons to regain CP. Some can do a little bit of damage to all your ops flexagons. Having a balanced roster of player types allows you to be versatile and take on a lot of different types of ops. For a detailed description of each player, click this link to download the official instruction manual. The reason player types is important is because some flexagons will be ballin' versus and soft versus certain player types. If your flexagon is ballin' versus a player type, the damage from any of these flexes is doubled. If your flexagon is soft versus a player type, the damage from any of those flexes is only worth half. You'll want to try to flex against ops that you are ballin' versus and defend incoming flexes using player types that your op is soft versus. Because Butler is soft versus tanks, Sean was wise to use Jokic to defend that flex because now the damage is only worth half. Thus, from 10, it goes to 5. Upgrading a flexagon can be one of the fastest ways to take out your op. This is because upgraded flexagons feature much stronger CP and flexes than lower level flexagons. Basic is the lowest level, Rising Stars and Rookies are next, then there are All Stars. All Stars can upgrade into All NBA, and the most powerful level is MVP. You can see on upgraded flexagons what lower level flexagon is required to do an upgrade. When you upgrade, it also removes any active status effects on the flexagon. Status effects screw up your op's flexagons and game plan. There are 5 status effects: Ice Cold, Dazzled, Schooled, Shook, and Overmatched. Please read the status effects card in the starter kit for details on what each of these status effects do and how to get rid of them. You also want to know the difference between base damage and total damage. Base damage is the amount of damage a flex does before any status effects, player abilities, FX tiles, or flex subtexts are applied. Total damage is the amount of damage a flex does after factoring in status effects, player abilities, FX tiles, and flex subtext. Make sure to calculate damage using the right amounts. Another player ability to consider is a taunt. Taunt forces your op to flex on one of your players. This can be used to protect some of your more vulnerable flexagons. Many FX tiles also give you the power to choose your defender when you flex. Use this to swing the game momentum into your favor. Let's talk more about substitutions. When you sub a flexagon out, all the damage tokens go with the flexagon to the bench. All status effects are removed though. Substitutions can be a great way to get rid of annoying status effects and bring in a rested flexagon to keep your game going. When an active flexagon CP is reduced to 0, you are not allowed to automatically bring in a bench flexagon into the game. A substitution must be rolled on the play action die to bring in any flexagons off the bench. So if a player has flexagons on the bench, but did not substitute those flexagons into the game, and you have no active flexagons left, the game still ends. There are limitless combinations you can explore when building your roster. You can choose to have a high damage team to take out your op quickly. This is high risk though, because most high damage flexagons are vulnerable to your op's flexes as well. You could also go defensive and use a team of tanks that have high CP. Just prepare to grind it out, because most high CP flexagons don't deal a lot of damage. There are other advanced strategies to look at, so choose your flexagons wisely and try them all out to see which ones fit the playing style you want to have. For even more details and breakdowns, click here to download the entire rulebook. You can also hit us up on Discord and we'll answer any questions you'll have. Now, go and assemble the greatest team in the basketball universe and flex on everyone you know.